Why is skin bleaching so widespread in Africa, and what can we do to stop it? Welcome to the Bold African Voice, BAV, where we amplify the stories, challenges, and triumphs of Africa. I'm Abdul Karim Kargbo, born and raised in Africa. Today we're tackling a critical issue that goes beyond beauty. It's about health, culture, and identity. Why is skin bleaching so widespread in Africa, and what can we do to stop it? Stay with us as we unmask the truth and uncover the solutions. The prevalence of skin-lightening products, SLPs, in Nigeria has reached alarming levels, earning the country the unenviable title of the world capital of skin bleaching. This crisis, highlighted by Nigeria's Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Isiaq Salako, reflects deep-rooted societal issues tied to beauty standards, cultural identity, and public health. With a staggering 77% of Nigerian women reportedly using skin-bleaching products as stated by the World Health Organization, WHO, Nigeria represents the epicenter of a wider African phenomenon that demands urgent attention and action. The cultural and societal drivers of skin bleaching is not merely a health concern, it is a symptom of deeply ingrained societal norms that equate lighter skin tones with beauty, social status, and success. According to the Nigeria Opinion Institute, 64% of Nigerians believe that skin bleaching is highly prevalent, with 40% associating it with enhanced attractiveness and fashion. These perceptions are reinforced by media representations, societal pressures, and, in some cases, direct or indirect encouragement from men. The normalization of terms like toning as a euphemism for bleaching further obscures the dangers of SLPs. Many individuals mistakenly consider toning to be a safer alternative, unaware that it often involves the same harmful chemicals found in traditional bleaching products. Health implications of skin bleaching products. The widespread use of SLPs poses severe health risks. Products often contain toxic substances like mercury, hydroquinone, steroids, and heavy metals, which can lead to conditions ranging from skin damage to organ toxicity and cancer. Studies show that the long-term use of these products increases the likelihood of chronic illnesses and irreversible skin conditions. Minister Salako emphasized the urgency of addressing these health risks through targeted public health campaigns and stricter regulatory frameworks. Nigeria has introduced measures like the Cosmetic Products, Prohibition of Bleaching Agents, Regulations 2019, which restrict the concentration of hydroquinone to 2% and ban other harmful chemicals. However, enforcement challenges persist as many unregulated products continue to circulate in local markets. Pan-African perspective, a continent-wide crisis. Nigeria's skin bleaching epidemic is not an isolated case. Across Africa, societal norms that idealize lighter skin tones have driven the demand for SLPs. According to WHO, the prevalence of skin bleaching is 25% in Mali, 32% in South Africa, 39% in Ghana, 50% in Senegal, and 66% in Congo-Brazzaville. These statistics reveal a continent grappling with a common challenge, albeit with varying degrees of severity. While countries like Ghana, South Africa, and Mali have banned SLPs, enforcement remains a significant hurdle. Weak regulatory systems allow these products to flood informal markets, undermining public health initiatives and perpetuating harmful beauty standards. Forward-looking strategies, addressing the root causes. The fight against skin bleaching in Nigeria and across Africa requires a multifaceted approach. 1. Public health campaigns. Comprehensive awareness campaigns must address the misconceptions surrounding skin bleaching and promote natural beauty. Targeting grassroots communities, these campaigns should include culturally sensitive messaging and emphasize the health risks of SLPs. 2. Stricter regulation and enforcement. Strengthening regulatory frameworks is crucial. This includes enhancing the capacity of agencies like the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to monitor and eliminate harmful products from the market. 3. Economic and social interventions. Addressing the socio-economic factors that drive skin bleaching is equally important. Empowering women economically and promoting education can challenge societal norms that equate lighter skin with success. 4. Pan-African collaboration. Given the continental scope of the problem, African nations must work together to develop standardized regulations and share best practices. Regional workshops, like the one held in Gabon, are essential for fostering dialogue and collective action, global influence and cultural reclamation. The influence of global beauty standards, often rooted in Eurocentric ideals, cannot be overlooked. African media, influencers, and policymakers must actively challenge these narratives by celebrating and promoting diverse representations of beauty. Efforts like the Black Consciousness movement in South Africa and campaigns led by cultural icons across the continent provide a template for reclaiming African identity. By fostering a sense of pride in natural skin tones, these initiatives can help counteract the societal pressures fueling the demand for SLPs. The role of the African diaspora in combating skin bleaching. The African diaspora, with its extensive reach and influence, plays a pivotal role in challenging and reshaping the beauty narratives that perpetuate skin bleaching. Through platforms in music, film, literature, and social media, members of the diaspora can amplify messages that celebrate African beauty and counter the harmful stereotypes often portrayed in global media. For example, African diaspora influencers and celebrities have the power to spotlight the dangers of SLPs while promoting campaigns that encourage self-acceptance. Initiatives such as the Dark is Beautiful campaign have already demonstrated the impact of leveraging cultural pride to challenge deeply ingrained prejudices against darker skin tones. Similarly, diasporic partnerships with African-based organizations can lead to a global movement advocating for inclusive beauty standards. International partnerships and global advocacy. The global nature of the skin bleaching industry necessitates international collaboration. Many harmful SLPs are produced or distributed through transnational supply chains that often exploit weak regulatory environments in African countries. To effectively combat this issue, partnerships with international health organizations, such as the World Health Organization, WHO, and the United Nations, UN, are essential. A potential model for this is the WHO's Intersectoral Global Action Plan on Skin Bleaching, which aims to strengthen the capacity of member states to regulate and monitor harmful products. African governments can leverage these global frameworks to enhance their enforcement mechanisms, ensuring that their markets are free from toxic cosmetics. Moreover, global corporations and beauty brands operating in Africa have a moral and ethical responsibility to align their products with local safety regulations. Transparent labeling, rigorous testing, and adherence to international standards should be non-negotiable for all cosmetic products entering African markets. Innovative solutions. Leveraging technology and media technology can also play a transformative role in the fight against skin bleaching. Mobile apps, for instance, can be developed to educate users on the ingredients in cosmetic products, providing real-time information about their safety and potential health risks. These tools can empower consumers to make informed choices, reducing their reliance on unregulated products. In addition, African filmmakers and content creators can produce documentaries, movies, and series that address the societal pressures surrounding skin bleaching. By weaving these narratives into mainstream entertainment, the media can spark critical conversations and inspire cultural change. For instance, Nollywood, Nigeria's influential film industry, has the potential to shape public opinion by featuring diverse representations of beauty in its productions. Economic incentives for local cosmetic industries. Another crucial aspect of combating the skin bleaching epidemic is supporting the growth of local cosmetic industries that promote safe and natural products. Governments can provide tax incentives, grants, and subsidies to businesses that align with public health goals. Encouraging the use of indigenous African ingredients such as shea butter, baobab oil, and black soap in cosmetic formulations can create a thriving market for natural beauty products while preserving cultural heritage. This approach also has the potential to create employment opportunities and stimulate economic growth. By promoting local industries, African countries can reduce their dependence on imported cosmetic products, many of which fail to meet safety standards. The intersection of gender and skin bleaching. The gender dynamics of skin bleaching deserve closer scrutiny. While women are the primary users of SLPs, the role of men in perpetuating these practices cannot be ignored. As Minister Salako rightly noted, men often exert direct or indirect pressure on women to conform to societal beauty standards, reinforcing the demand for lighter skin. Addressing these dynamics requires engaging men in awareness campaigns, and fostering conversations about redefining beauty norms. Schools, religious organizations, and community groups can serve as platforms for these discussions, promoting a more inclusive understanding of beauty that transcends skin tone. Economic implications of the skin bleaching industry. The financial burden imposed by the skin bleaching industry on African economies is staggering. Public health systems often bear the brunt of treating complications arising from the prolonged use of harmful products. Cases of mercury poisoning, chronic skin diseases, organ damage, and even cancer significantly strain already underfunded healthcare services. According to a 2023 WHO report, sub-Saharan African countries spend billions annually addressing preventable health conditions linked to cosmetic products containing toxic substances. In Nigeria, for instance, dermatological treatments for conditions caused by SLPs have become a significant portion of outpatient care, diverting resources that could be allocated to other pressing health issues. Furthermore, the economic impact extends beyond healthcare costs. Many users of SLPs, particularly those in the informal sector, suffer reduced productivity due to health complications. This translates into a loss of income and, by extension, a decline in national economic output. Additionally, reliance on imported bleaching products exacerbates trade imbalances and undermines local industries that could thrive by promoting natural and safe cosmetics. Education as a tool for cultural and behavioral change. Education systems across Africa are critical in addressing the root causes of skin bleaching. Incorporating lessons on self-acceptance, cultural pride, and the dangers of SLPs into school curriculums can shape the attitudes of future generations. Early education programs should emphasize the diversity and richness of African skin tones, countering the pervasive beauty standards that glorify lighter skin. Moreover, partnerships between governments and non-governmental organizations can facilitate the training of teachers and community leaders to serve as advocates for positive body image. By fostering a supportive environment, these initiatives can empower young people to resist societal pressures and embrace their natural beauty. Community outreach programs targeting parents, particularly in rural areas, can further reinforce these lessons. Parents often wield significant influence over their children's perceptions of beauty, making them essential partners in combating the normalization of skin bleaching. Redefining beauty through Pan-African initiatives. Pan-African movements and organizations have a unique role in redefining beauty standards across the continent. Cultural festivals, art exhibitions, and fashion shows that celebrate natural African aesthetics can inspire pride and foster a sense of unity among diverse populations. The African Union, AU, and regional bodies like EcoWays should spearhead campaigns that promote inclusive definitions of beauty as part of their broader cultural preservation initiatives. One example is the African Natural Beauty Initiative, a proposed continent-wide program that could celebrate individuals and communities embracing their natural skin tones. Through competitions, media campaigns, and public endorsements by influential figures, such an initiative could counteract the harmful narratives perpetuated by the skin bleaching industry. The role of influencers and social media in changing narratives. Social media has emerged as a powerful platform for shaping public opinion, especially among younger demographics. Influencers who challenge the glorification of lighter skin can create impactful campaigns that resonate with millions. By sharing their personal stories and celebrating natural beauty, these individuals can inspire others to embrace their authenticity. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are particularly effective in reaching urban youth, where skin bleaching is often most prevalent. Campaigns like Melanin Magic, which highlight the beauty of darker skin tones, demonstrate the potential of social media to shift perceptions and spark meaningful conversations. However, the role of social media is not without challenges. The same platforms that facilitate positive change are often flooded with advertisements for unregulated and harmful SLPs. Stricter regulations and partnerships with tech companies are essential to combat the proliferation of such content online. Strengthening legal frameworks to combat skin bleaching. The legal landscape across Africa is a critical battleground in the fight against the proliferation of skin-lightening products, SLPs. While countries such as Ghana, South Africa, and Rwanda have introduced bans on harmful skin-bleaching products, enforcement mechanisms remain inconsistent, often undermined by porous borders and under-resourced regulatory agencies. For instance, in Nigeria, the cosmetic products, prohibition of bleaching agents, Regulations 2019 is a step in the right direction, but implementation gaps persist. Markets remain flooded with unregulated SLPs, often smuggled in through informal trade channels. Stricter penalties for manufacturers, importers, and retailers of harmful products are essential to deter these practices. Collaborative efforts among regional economic communities, such as ECOWAS and SADC, can create a harmonized regulatory framework, ensuring that banned substances do not circulate within the continent. Additionally, public interest litigation can be leveraged to hold companies accountable for marketing and distributing unsafe products. Civil society organizations and consumer advocacy groups have a pivotal role to play in this regard, amplifying the voices of affected individuals and demanding accountability from corporations. Integrating traditional African practices in promoting skin health. Africa's rich heritage of traditional medicine and natural remedies offers sustainable alternatives to harmful cosmetic practices. Indigenous ingredients like shea butter, aloe vera, and marula oil have long been celebrated for their skin-healing properties. By promoting these natural products, Africa can reclaim its cultural heritage while addressing the public health crisis of skin bleaching. Governments and private sector actors should invest in research and development to modernize and commercialize these traditional practices. For example, partnerships between local farmers and cosmetic brands can ensure a steady supply chain of high-quality natural ingredients, fostering economic empowerment in rural communities. Moreover, branding campaigns that emphasize the health and aesthetic benefits of natural products can shift consumer preferences away from harmful SLPs. Incorporating these practices into public health campaigns alongside stories of cultural pride can serve as a powerful counter-narrative to the allure of skin-lightening products. Media outlets and influencers can further amplify these messages, making them accessible to a wider audience. The intersection of global markets and local realities. The global demand for SLPs connects Africa's local challenges with broader international trends. Many of the most harmful products are manufactured outside Africa, with multinational corporations profiting from unsafe cosmetic practices. The lack of stringent global regulations allows these companies to exploit weaker markets, perpetuating the cycle of harm. African governments must advocate for stricter global standards through platforms like the World Trade Organization, WTO, and the World Health Assembly, WHO. By demanding greater corporate responsibility and transparency, African leaders can challenge the global supply chains that prioritize profit over safety. International partnerships can also help to bolster local enforcement. Collaborative efforts with customs and border control agencies, supported by advanced technologies like product tracking systems, can limit the influx of unregulated products into African markets. Community-based solutions for sustainable change communities are at the forefront of this battle and must be empowered to lead the change. Grassroots advocacy campaigns led by local leaders, health workers, and educators can address the cultural and economic factors that sustain the demand for SLPs. These initiatives should prioritize community dialogues to understand the underlying motivations for skin bleaching and offer culturally appropriate alternatives. For example, microfinance programs targeting women can reduce economic dependence on the informal trade of harmful cosmetic products, providing alternative sources of income. Community-driven approaches can also include peer mentorship programs where individuals who have overcome skin bleaching addiction share their stories, inspiring others to embrace their natural beauty. Psychological and emotional dimensions of skin bleaching. The widespread use of skin-lightening products, SLPs, in Africa is not only a public health and cultural issue, but also a deeply psychological one. Many individuals who resort to skin bleaching do so in response to societal pressures that equate lighter skin with beauty, success, and social acceptance. These pressures often manifest in feelings of low self-esteem and a distorted sense of self-worth, particularly among women and young girls. Research by the African Center for Mental Health Studies indicates that individuals who bleach their skin often struggle with internalized colorism, a belief that lighter skin is inherently more desirable. This belief, perpetuated by media portrayals, community norms, and even family expectations, creates a vicious cycle of dissatisfaction and dependency on harmful products. Moreover, the emotional toll of skin bleaching can be devastating. Users frequently experience anxiety over achieving and maintaining a lighter complexion, compounded by shame or guilt when the health consequences become apparent. These psychological challenges are further exacerbated by societal stigma against those who visibly suffer the adverse effects of bleaching, such as skin damage or discoloration. Mental health support as a public health priority. To address the emotional and psychological dimensions of skin bleaching, African governments must integrate mental health support into their public health strategies. Awareness campaigns should not only highlight the physical dangers of SLPs, but also emphasize the importance of self-acceptance and mental well-being. Community-based mental health initiatives can play a critical role in fostering resilience and self-confidence. Support groups, helplines, and counseling services tailored to address issues of body image and self-esteem can provide a safe space for individuals to process their experiences and build healthier coping mechanisms. Educational institutions should also incorporate mental health education into their curricula, teaching young people to recognize and challenge harmful societal norms. By fostering a culture of self-acceptance from an early age, schools can help prevent the development of harmful beauty practices later in life. Reimagining media representation. Media is a powerful tool in shaping societal perceptions, and its role in combating skin bleaching cannot be overstated. Historically, African media has often perpetuated colorist ideals, glorifying lighter-skinned individuals in advertisements, films, and television shows. However, this narrative is gradually shifting as more creators embrace diverse representations of beauty. Campaigns like Tur Black Girl Magic and Tur Melanin Poppin' have gained traction in recent years, celebrating the richness and diversity of African skin tones. African filmmakers, musicians, and influencers are increasingly using their platforms to promote positive body image and challenge Eurocentric beauty standards. To sustain this momentum, governments and private organizations should fund media initiatives that celebrate African beauty. Public broadcasting channels can dedicate airtime to educational programs, documentaries, and stories that dismantle the myths surrounding skin bleaching. Partnerships with global streaming platforms, such as Netflix and YouTube, can amplify these messages, reaching a wider audience both within and outside Africa. Corporate accountability and ethical marketing. The role of corporations in perpetuating the skin bleaching epidemic cannot be ignored. Many multinational and local companies continue to market SLPs aggressively, using advertisements that exploit insecurities and reinforce harmful beauty standards. This unethical marketing not only undermines public health, but also entrenches societal divisions based on skin tone. Governments must enforce stricter advertising regulations to prevent the promotion of harmful products. Companies should be held accountable for misleading claims and for targeting vulnerable populations, particularly women and adolescents. Transparency in labeling, coupled with public education on the harmful ingredients commonly found in SLPs, can empower consumers to make informed choices. Ethical beauty brands have an opportunity to lead by example, promoting safe and natural products while rejecting colorist messaging in their marketing. Partnerships between governments, civil society, and the private sector can incentivize these practices, creating a market that prioritizes health and inclusivity over profit. Regional and international coalitions, strengthening the fight against skin bleaching. The fight against skin bleaching in Africa is inherently a cross-border issue, requiring collaboration among nations to tackle the root causes and address the widespread availability of harmful products. Regional coalitions, such as the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, are well positioned to lead coordinated efforts in enforcing regulations and raising awareness. Standardizing regulations across borders. Harmonized policies across African nations can help close the loopholes that allow the smuggling and illegal sale of banned products. Regional bodies should adopt unified frameworks for monitoring, testing, and approving cosmetic products, ensuring that harmful substances like mercury and hydroquinone are consistently restricted. Organizations like the African Union, AU, can spearhead the development of a continental cosmetic safety charter, laying out guidelines for member states to implement and enforce. Such a charter could mandate regular market surveillance, stricter penalties for violators, and enhanced training for regulatory authorities. Shared resources and expertise. Pooling resources and expertise can significantly enhance the effectiveness of anti-bleaching campaigns. For instance, countries with more advanced testing facilities can provide technical support to those lacking infrastructure. Collaborative training programs for customs officials, regulators, and law enforcement can strengthen the continent's capacity to combat the illegal trade in skin-lightening products. Global partnerships for change. International organizations such as the World Health Organization, WHO, and United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, can support Africa's efforts by providing funding, technical expertise, and advocacy on the global stage. Partnerships with donor countries and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, can facilitate research, public awareness campaigns, and community-based interventions. Moreover, African governments should advocate for stricter global regulations on the production and export of harmful SLPs. By engaging with international trade bodies like the World Trade Organization, WTO, African nations can push for sanctions against companies that violate safety standards in exporting these products to African markets. Global cultural exchanges, redefining beauty standards. While regulatory measures are crucial, redefining beauty standards remains an equally important aspect of addressing the skin bleaching epidemic. Global cultural exchanges provide an opportunity to challenge the Eurocentric ideals that have long shaped perceptions of beauty in Africa. Showcasing African beauty on the world stage, African art, fashion, and media industries are thriving, offering a wealth of opportunities to celebrate and promote diverse representations of beauty. Platforms like the Lagos Fashion Week and the Pan-African Film and Television Festival of Ouagadougou, FESPACO, can serve as vehicles for promoting natural beauty and dismantling colorist narratives. By fostering collaborations between African and international creators, these platforms can amplify the message that beauty comes in all shades. For example, African designers and models can work with global brands to create inclusive campaigns that challenge stereotypes and celebrate melanin-rich skin tones. Education, through global platforms, documentaries, podcasts, and social media campaigns focusing on the cultural and historical roots of colorism, can educate audiences worldwide about the harmful impact of skin bleaching. Streaming platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime offer the potential for African filmmakers to share their stories on a global scale, inspiring conversations about beauty and identity across cultures. Diaspora-led advocacy. The African diaspora plays a unique role in bridging cultural gaps and promoting positive narratives. Through initiatives like the Global African Beauty Movement, diaspora-led organizations can foster a dialogue between African and non-African communities, highlighting the richness of African aesthetics and the need to embrace natural beauty. Economic opportunities in sustainable beauty industries. The transition from harmful cosmetic practices to sustainable beauty industries presents a significant economic opportunity for Africa. By investing in local production of safe, natural beauty products, African nations can create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and reduce their dependence on imported goods. This shift aligns with the broader goals of self-reliance and sustainable development that many African governments are pursuing. Harnessing indigenous ingredients. Africa is home to a wealth of natural resources with proven benefits for skin health. Shea butter from West Africa, marula oil from Southern Africa, and baobab oil from East Africa are just a few examples of ingredients that can be sustainably sourced and processed into high-quality cosmetic products. Investing in the cultivation, harvesting, and processing of these resources can create jobs in rural communities, providing economic alternatives to the informal trade of harmful SLPs. Governments and private sector actors can collaborate to establish cooperatives that empower small-scale farmers and entrepreneurs, particularly women, who are often the primary custodians of these natural resources. By ensuring fair trade practices and access to global markets, these initiatives can transform the beauty industry into a vehicle for economic empowerment. Building local cosmetic brands. The success of local brands like Nigeria's Skin Gourmet and Ghana's Epara demonstrates the potential for African-owned businesses to thrive in the global beauty market. These brands have built their reputations on the use of natural, ethically sourced ingredients, providing a blueprint for others to follow. Supportive policies such as tax incentives, grants, and low-interest loans can encourage the establishment and growth of similar enterprises. Trade shows, expos, and marketing campaigns focusing on made-in-Africa beauty products can further boost visibility and consumer trust. Tapping into export markets. The global demand for organic and natural beauty products is on the rise, with consumers increasingly prioritizing sustainability and health. African cosmetic brands are well positioned to capitalize on this trend by exporting high-quality, natural products to international markets. Trade agreements with key global partners, along with streamlined export procedures, can help African businesses compete on the world stage. Case studies: successful campaigns against skin bleaching. Several African countries and communities have implemented innovative strategies to combat skin bleaching, providing valuable lessons for others facing similar challenges. Rwanda's strict ban on bleaching products. In 2018, Rwanda launched a nationwide crackdown on the sale and use of harmful skin-lightening products. The government worked closely with local authorities, law enforcement, and community leaders to enforce bans and educate the public about the dangers of these products. The campaign also included public endorsements from high-profile figures, including President Paul Kagame, who emphasized the importance of self-acceptance and national pride. The result was a significant reduction in the availability of harmful products in markets and increased awareness about their risks. Rwanda's approach highlights the importance of political will and coordinated action in tackling this issue. South Africa's embrace of natural beauty. South Africa has been at the forefront of celebrating diverse beauty through campaigns like Proudly South African and Love Your Shade. These initiatives have gained widespread support from influencers, media outlets, and corporate sponsors, creating a cultural shift toward valuing natural skin tones. Grassroots movements in Ghana. In Ghana, grassroots organizations like the Skin Health Alliance Ghana, SHAG, have made strides in reducing skin bleaching prevalence by engaging directly with communities. Their approach involves workshops, radio programs, and door-to-door campaigns that provide information on the health risks of SLPs and promote locally made, safe alternatives. Integrating anti-bleaching initiatives into public health and cultural preservation strategies. Combating the skin bleaching epidemic requires a multifaceted approach that integrates public health initiatives with cultural preservation efforts. By addressing the issue through both health and heritage lenses, African nations can ensure that campaigns against skin-lightening products achieve long-term success and resonate deeply with communities. Embedding anti-bleaching efforts into public health campaigns. Public health campaigns must emphasize the dangers of skin-lightening products as part of broader health education initiatives. For example, campaigns about non-communicable diseases could incorporate discussions on how harmful chemicals in SLPs contribute to organ toxicity, chronic illnesses, and cancer. These efforts should be linked with access to dermatological care for those suffering from complications due to SLP use. Collaboration with healthcare professionals, particularly community health workers, is critical for disseminating these messages. Health workers are often the first point of contact in rural areas and can influence attitudes by explaining the medical risks associated with skin bleaching during routine consultations. Moreover, anti-bleaching efforts can be tied to broader campaigns that address colorism and mental health. For instance, initiatives like Love Your Skin, Love Your Health could promote natural beauty while highlighting the psychological toll of internalized colorism. Cultural preservation as a tool for change. Reclaiming and celebrating African cultural heritage is essential in challenging the societal norms that drive skin bleaching. Many African cultures historically celebrated dark skin tones as symbols of strength, resilience, and beauty. By revitalizing these traditions, nations can counteract the harmful influences of colonial legacies and modern media. Festivals, cultural heritage events, and traditional art forms can play a pivotal role in this endeavor. Governments and organizations could sponsor contests or exhibitions that showcase traditional African beauty ideals, fostering a sense of pride in natural skin tones. For example, initiatives like the African Skin Festival could be organized annually in different countries, featuring fashion shows, art displays, and musical performances that celebrate natural beauty. By partnering with local influencers and cultural leaders, such events can draw significant attention and participation. The role of African youth in driving change. Africa's youth, as the continent's largest demographic, are key drivers of change. With over 60% of the population under the age of 25, the younger generation has the potential to lead the movement against skin bleaching through activism, innovation, and advocacy. Youth-led campaigns. Youth groups, student organizations, and social media influencers can spearhead awareness campaigns that challenge colorist narratives. By using platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, they can create viral content that promotes self-acceptance and educates peers about the dangers of SLPs. Hashtags like Char's Glow with Your Tone or Tort Proudly African Skin can unify these efforts and make them more visible. Youth-led organizations could also work with governments to shape policies and initiatives aimed at reducing skin bleaching. By involving young people in decision-making processes, governments can ensure that anti-bleaching strategies are relatable and impactful. Educational institutions as change agents, schools, and universities should serve as hubs for conversations about self-esteem, body image, and cultural identity. Curriculum reforms that include discussions on the history of colorism and its impact on society can help young people develop critical thinking skills to resist harmful beauty standards. Extracurricular activities such as debates, drama productions, and art competitions can further reinforce these messages in creative and engaging ways. Mentorship programs pairing younger students with older peers who advocate for natural beauty could also be an effective approach. Technology as a catalyst for awareness technology offers innovative solutions for amplifying anti-bleaching messages. Mobile apps, for instance, can provide educational resources about the dangers of SLPs, as well as tools to identify safe and harmful ingredients in cosmetic products. A rating system for cosmetic brands based on their adherence to safety standards could empower consumers to make informed choices. Artificial intelligence could also play a role in monitoring online platforms for advertisements promoting harmful SLPs. By flagging and removing such content, tech companies can contribute to creating a safer digital environment. The financial impact of stricter regulations on the global cosmetics industry. As African nations tighten regulations on harmful skin-lightening products, the global cosmetics industry will undoubtedly feel the ripple effects. Multinational corporations that rely on the African market for their SLP sales will face pressure to reformulate their products, adhere to stricter safety standards, and shift their marketing strategies to promote inclusivity and natural beauty. While these changes may initially disrupt the industry, they also present opportunities for innovation. Companies that adapt by offering safe, sustainable, and culturally relevant alternatives can capture market share and build long-term consumer trust. African leaders should negotiate with these corporations, demanding not only compliance with local regulations, but also investments in local economies through job creation, training programs, and support for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the beauty sector. Fostering African unity in combating skin bleaching. The widespread use of skin-lightening products is a shared challenge across the continent, underscoring the need for a united African response. Regional collaborations, such as an African Beauty Standard Summit, could bring together policymakers, cultural leaders, health professionals, and private sector representatives to develop a coordinated strategy. Such a summit could establish a continental action plan with clear goals, such as reducing skin bleaching prevalence by a specific percentage over the next decade, fostering the growth of natural beauty industries, and promoting inclusive cultural narratives. By aligning efforts, African nations can amplify their impact and create a continental movement towards self-acceptance and natural beauty. Advice to African leaders. 1. Prioritize public awareness campaigns. Invest in nationwide campaigns that educate citizens about the dangers of skin-lightening products and celebrate the beauty of African skin tones. Use diverse channels, traditional media, social media, schools, and community centers to reach all demographics. 2. Strengthen regulatory frameworks. Enforce existing bans on harmful SLPs and close loopholes that allow these products to enter markets. Equip regulatory bodies with the resources and training needed to monitor and control the cosmetics industry effectively. 3. Support local industries. Provide incentives for local entrepreneurs to produce safe, natural, and culturally relevant beauty products. Foster partnerships between the private sector and rural communities to promote sustainable sourcing of indigenous ingredients. 4. Engage men and youth. Address the role of men in perpetuating colorist standards and empower young people to lead the movement for cultural and societal change. Both groups are critical in reshaping attitudes and behaviors. 5. Collaborate regionally and internationally. Work with neighboring countries, regional bodies, and global organizations to harmonize regulations, share resources, and advocate for global standards that prioritize safety and ethical practices. Summary of key messages. Skin bleaching is a public health crisis. Harmful chemicals in SLPs cause severe health complications, creating an economic burden for African nations. Colorism fuels the epidemic. Societal perceptions equating lighter skin with beauty and success drive demand for skin-lightening products, often at great personal and societal cost. Education and awareness are essential. Public health campaigns and school curricula must challenge harmful beauty standards and promote self-acceptance. Economic opportunities exist in sustainable alternatives. Africa's natural resources can drive the growth of a safe and thriving beauty industry that empowers local communities. Unity is key to success. A coordinated approach at the national, regional, and global levels can amplify efforts to end the skin bleaching crisis and foster pride in African identity. By addressing the root causes and consequences of skin bleaching with urgency and unity, African leaders have an opportunity to create a future where natural beauty is celebrated, health is prioritized, and cultural identity is preserved. This journey is not only about changing perceptions, but also about building a legacy of empowerment, inclusivity, and resilience for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this important journey. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to the Bold African Voice, BAV. Let's spark a continent-wide conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, at the Bold African Voice, BAV, we're committed to celebrating Africa's authentic beauty and tackling the issues that matter most. Hit the notification bell to stay updated, and we'll see you in our next deep dive into Africa's stories and solutions. Together, let's inspire change.